Hey everyone, this is Sarabjeet, and I am going to share. Let me see if this looks right. Okay, looks good. All right, guys. So, as I mentioned in the group earlier today, I am not going to be doing live training this Saturday because I'm traveling. But I did want to come on here and give you some impromptu training sessions, right? So here, lots of times, even like my first time doing this, obviously. Okay. Let me move this camera back. Okay, perfect. So lots of times when we look at job descriptions or we talk about what BAs do on a day-to-day, we say, lots of times business analysts elicit requirements. Well, what does that mean? How do you elicit requirements? And what that primarily means is there's many different ways of gathering or eliciting requirements is one and the same thing. So how do you gather requirements? And there's several methods that you see around here that you can use to gather requirements. So the first one over here is like interviewing, right? This is what we've talked about a lot in this group, is when you work with your stakeholders or you talk to them one-on-one and you understand what the business need is, you try to document and, understand what comes first, second, third. So it's a way of talking to your stakeholders one-on-one. One is called interviewing. The next one is surveys. Surveys are used when you have lots of people that are, lots of stakeholders that you need to get feedback from, but they're like kind of like all over the globe and they're not like in one central location. So in that scenario, you would use surveys to gather your requirements. Then you have jazz sessions. Jazz sessions are typically when you have lots of different team members, different stakeholders that you need to get feedback from, and you need decision points or or action items or decision points made at that point. So you bring lots of different team members together and you hold a chat session. And again, the goal is you need to have a facilitator and the goal is to have action items or decision points after the chat session, okay? The next one is brainstorming. That's when you get in a room of people and you brainstorm on what the business need is or how to solve a business problem, okay? And that's called brainstorming. That's another way that you can gather requirements for your project. The next one over here is interface analysis. That's kind of like understanding how the system works as is. So if you can understand how the business or the system is working today, then you can go back and talk to your stakeholders about how it needs to be different or what needs to be different about it. Okay. The next way that you can do requirements is observation. You can go to your stakeholders and watch what they're doing. Say, hey, Susie or Sally or whatever your stakeholder's name is, and say, can I spend some time watching you do your job? And what that does is it allows you to understand some of the things that they may not tell you about in the interview, like all the sticky notes that they have around their laptop or their computer, and you have a better sense of their day-to-day interactions with the systems that you're trying to enhance. And the last one I have, I think that was the last. Oh, no. The last one I have, which is pretty important, lots of people miss this, is past documentation. If you're trying to gather requirements on a project and, there must have been past documentation, if you can get your hands on it, is the best method of understanding like the framework or how or why the system was built. So always try to get your hands on past documentation when you're starting a project. So again, what does it mean to elicit requirements? It means all of these 6 or 7 things you can use on your project to gather requirements, okay? I am not going to be live this Saturday. Jeet may be doing a live session with you guys while I'm not here, but I'm not 100% sure about that. So we'll post that in the group once we finalize the topic and, confirm the time and whatnot. And again, if you're going to be joining us live, it's going to be via Zoom or live here. And the Zoom link will be in the events tab. So make sure you check the events area for any upcoming training. Usually the Zoom link and, the meeting info is placed there. And with that, I gotta go. Bye, guys.